What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the first introduction of Mad Polls. I just want to sit back and talk about a little bit of the channel, what we're going to be doing, what I'm talking about, what's going on now. So, about a year ago, I've always been into Subarus, so I finally got and bought one off a friend of mine, and it was good. There was really no bolt-ons. It was pretty much bone stock. Um, I got it tuned, and it was okay for a while, but then I started running into problems. Now, let me do state the motor did have 100, I want to say 150K on the odometer. Now, this is the original motor, the original transmission, everything was original. So as I noticed as I started to put bolt-ons, getting tunes, the type of motor that's in this car is what they refer as the EJ series. The EJ205s don't have any forged pistons or rods. Now, forged pistons and rods would be something that's more heavier as far as the metal grade, the amount of horsepower you can produce and use. So essentially saying that you really don't want to push, especially with a stock 5-speed in a Subaru of my series, which is the '05 Subaru Impreza WRX. It's a 2.0 liter turbo. I believe it comes stock with a VF38. I went and upgraded it eventually to a VF48 from a 2015 STI, I was told. Even though the guy told me that there was no shaft plate in the turbo, I went and brought it to my guy, and he actually did a couple things for me. He painted it for me. To my surprise, I didn't think he was going to, but he painted it red. He completely, the cartridge and all the seals, the whole 9 yards, I paid about $300. And now I'm up to a couple thousand because I had a flex fuel kit. The flex fuel kit was not, I want to say, it limited to what I could do. So you could, hey, what's going on, man? So it limited what you can do, like the fueling range, or the fuel table, sorry. You could dabble into with their software because what they call is a piggyback system. I am from Long Island, New York, brother. The piggyback system essentially is the pulse of the injectors. It changes the way the injectors work. So you won't throw like a check engine light because it's a piggyback system and it works with my Subaru, for example. I forget the name because I haven't used it in a while because I had to pull it out of the car. I'm running now just a tune. I use a Cobb access port and whatnot. So, doing so, hey, what's going on? Not much. Yeah, I know. I do look adorable, I guess. Anywho, so I pulled that kit out because you can't advance the timing, and it's kind of pointless. I mean, there are some gains. Like, yes, you'll get like an extra 20 horse, 30 horse just by hooking the kit up and doing everything that you need to do with their kit, which is all fine and great, but you're paying like $900 to gain 20 horse. It doesn't make any sense. So I can advance the timing and get the full potential out of your motor. I decided to pull the kit out, get it tuned by my tuner, and it wasn't bad. Like, I was pulling, I don't know, I think like stock is like 226 horsepower at first, and then they I wound up going up to like 260. But again, the motor only had like a lot of miles. It had like 160K. It was pretty close to almost 200,000 miles when the motor went. And I had what they call rod knock. Now, that's when you rev up the motor and then you hear like a knock, 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 knock noise. That's not good. That means your bearings, your rod bearings or your main bearings are going, which I definitely suggest getting it towed if you're too far away. Thankfully, it happened when I was only about a mile or two down the road, so I just drove it in the driveway and I stopped it and I pulled the motor. And I'll have some short videos also being uploaded, everyone, of that time because it was actually like almost about, I don't know, 6 months, a year ago. So I bought another motor. Guy claimed, hey, it's got 60K miles on it. I was like, cool. All right, it's got low miles, do that. Well, we tuned it. We did everything again. Let me just go down the mods list real quick. So I have a slightly upgraded turbo from a 2015 STI. I have let's see. I also have the top mount intercooler from that same turbo from the same car. I kind of bought it in a bundle kit. And doing so, the intercooler, I didn't realize it wasn't the same size. So since I had a welder at home, my dad works on his 1972 Box Nova. So we had all the stuff we needed to do. I had the metal, the welder, so I welded a bracket to make it slightly larger so it would mount up proper. And then I took the rubber that seals everything where the hood comes down onto the top mount. And I also just got rid of that for now. So it's kind of more airflow and whatnot and etc. So moving forward, doing all that, doing what I did, getting the new motor, I was up to 280. I was happy with that. And I could have been happy with that for a while, to be honest. But now recently I just had a problem. The motor started shaking, stuff started to go wrong again. So I'm like, all right. I'm like, let me check a bunch of stuff. So I checked a bunch of stuff. Everything seemed to check out. I was like, all right, I got two things left. Got to do a compression test and then a leak down test. Now, the difference is the compression tells you what the compression of the motor is. Kind of gives you an idea of how long the motor is going to last. Typically, motors, a good range, in my opinion, is honestly about, I would say, like 180, 150 PSI in compression is a really healthy motor. I had 20 PSI, which is really bad. Like, if you start to go in the 60s, all right, you got a little bit of time left. But I was down all the way, like, just above 20. So, like, I would say, like, 29, 28 in compression. It's like, great. So now I got to tear the motor out for the second time. So I pulled it out. And, again, I'll be uploading more, like, short videos of, all of that as well. Probably right after this live stream, to be honest. I have a little bit of time. And that's where I'm at right now. So I have 1,000cc upgraded injectors, which is more than enough. I'm running full E85 tune on a Cobb access port, and I'm running a 93 tune, which I'm running 94 octane actually, from the Sunoco Speedway here on Long Island, New York. So all in all, spending a couple thousand in retrospect, it's bottom line, these EJ205s and Subarus in general, they're very temperamental. They don't like knock. They don't like basically knock is like wrong detonation, in other words. And I'm by far not I'm pretty tax savvy, but I can't tune myself. I'd love to learn how to tune and tune my own car, which I would want to do in the next year or two. So that's something else I'm trying to pursue. And all in all, though, I would honestly say if you got a reliable tuner, you got someone with some backup history that knows what they're doing, because these Subarus are super temperamental to knock. And like that's why I'm trying to stick with the Cobb Access Port, because Cobb Access Port has so many monitors you can look up: battery voltage, your boost, your phantom knock, your regular knock, knock detection. There's so much stuff that you can look up and do. So you know, I might not be talking very the best at the moment, but I can tell you from my experience with Subarus that in the next live stream, which will probably honestly be at 11, around 11:50, probably 12 o'clock, I'll have another live stream. I'll be in my shed. I'll show you the engine that I had pulled, what I pulled, what I got, all the etc. stuff, all the fun stuff. So I do have other platforms where you can look up. Mad Polls is the introduction, I guess, or the profile name. That do have short videos. Don't know if I'm supposed to promote this or not. Well, not really promote, but say. I will say, though, you can look me up on TikTok. Now, TikTok, I just want to say for the record, is not paying me to say this or do any of this. That is my channel at the moment that I have all those videos at this time. So that's really about it, what I have to say. I just want to say thank you very much for everyone that has joined, give me likes. I like everything. Just comment, like, subscribe if you like this content. There's plenty more to come. I mean, as we all know, money's tight right now. I'm in the middle of trying to buy a house. So when I do get the parts, when I do get changes or updates where I'm upgrading the motor and I'm doing this, I'm doing that, my wife also will be probably holding the phone and I'll be doing all the work on the motor, or vice versa. So there's a lot of stuff to come. I'm a full car enthusiast, specifically with Subarus right now. So, but that's really about it. So, if you like this, comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next episode of Mad Polls. Again, thank you for coming, and I'll see you soon.